people, it's a great pleasure to have you on this wonderful show again. This is Lagos Transportation Agenda, a critical initiative aimed at modernizing urban mobility as well as tackling Lagos traffic challenges. Don't forget, on this event, it is meant to highlight topical issues, events, and of course trends in the dynamic world of transportation. Today on the event, I think we are having a fun-filled show where we are going to be viewing the 12th Nigerian Transport Lecture, which was held at Radinsson Blu Hotel, Ikeja, on the 18th of June 2026. I want to advise you stay around as we have a mouth-watering event for today. Please don't go nowhere after this video.
Why get stuck in endless traffic when you can arrive at your destination faster, calmer, and completely stress-free? With our reliable ferry service, escape the daily Lagos traffic, you enjoy a smarter, smoother way to move across the city. And without worries about where to park your car, because we have a car park. Lag Ferry offers you affordable, safe, and efficient waterway transportation designed to save you time and reduce the stress of daily commuting. Queues, no unnecessary stopovers, and no frustrating delays. Just a smooth ride across Lagos waterways that gets you where you need to be right on schedule. Ready to skip the traffic? Visit lagferry.gov.ng to experience a smarter way to move across Lagos.
Welcome back. On this show today with the team Inter-modal Transport Safety in Nigeria, talking about the prospects, the challenges, and of course the contribution to national growth. Mr. Kintum, the convener of this show, who is by virtue of position the editor-in-chief of the Transport Day magazine, expresses heartfelt gratitude to all the participants, the stakeholders, and even the guests who came to this occasion, as well as sensitizing everyone on the essence of the team, talking about the safety, that the safety of our roads can never be compromised. Here is what Mr. Kintum has to say.
Today's topic is on intermodal transport safety. And why we choose this topic was because we discovered that the governments, both at the federal and state levels, are beginning to think intermodal. And for too long, many state governments, many authorities were not really thinking about intermodal. In Lagos, for instance, you have the blue line coming from Mile 2. So the person that lives at Okumaiko, for instance, will first use the road. He comes to the blue line, which is the rail. He gets to CMS, and possibly he can also use water. Then we have, leaving Lagos to Ibadan, for instance, you can go by rail. When you get to the station in Ibadan, it's out of town, you still need road. So that's another example of intermodal. So there's a need for attention to be given in this area to ensure that safety is not compromised. Because if safety is compromised, the billions of naira that is being invested in ensuring that we have intermodal transportation in the country is going to be at risk. So I implore you to sit back and listen to our able presenters who have made a mark in their respective fields.
All right, I want to believe you have been able to get a tip from the iceberg from Mr. Kintum. Now let's take a deep dive into the event proper, where we have the keynote address as well as the paper presentation. On the keynote address, the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Honorable Minister Dr. Ikeja was ably represented by Mrs. Rashida to give the keynote address, and also the paper presentation was done by Dr. Ikeja.with, the Registrar and CEO of Council of Regulation and Freight Forwarding in Nigeria, CRFFN.
For Maritime Safety and Security, Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, and I am representing the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Dr. Ikeja.with. He sends his warm regards to the organizers and the participants here. So as I am like this, I'm currently the Federal Minister for Federal Ministry of New and Marine Economy. Okay, so there we are. Keynote address delivered by the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Dr. Ikeja.with, at the 12th Nigeria Transport Lecture held at Radinsson Blu Hotel, Ikeja.with, Lagos, on Thursday, 18th June 2026. The chairman, distinguished guests, stakeholders in the transportation sector, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Transportation remains the lifeblood of every modern economy. It facilitates trade, connects communities, drives industrial growth, and promotes national integration. No nation can achieve sustainable economic development without a safe, efficient, and integrated transportation system. As a ministry, we are responsible for Nigeria's ports, inland waterways, coastal shipping, and maritime trade, which is a critical pillar in any multimodal transportation system. The maritime sector contributes substantial volume to Nigeria's international trade. However, the full value can be achieved if our ports are seamlessly linked to roads, rail, and inland waterways through safe, reliable, and efficient connections. And modern communication systems will significantly improve safety outcomes across all modes of transportation. Under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, transportation remains a critical enabler of economic growth, industrialization, regional integration, and human development. The administration recognizes that investments in transportation infrastructure and safety are crucial to economic prosperity and national development. As we continue to pursue reforms and investments across the maritime and broader transportation ecosystem, our objective remains clear: to build an integrated, safe, resilient, and efficient transportation network that supports commerce, creates jobs, facilitates mobility, and enhances the quality of life for all Nigerians. I therefore urge all stakeholders gathered here today to take advantage of this platform to exchange ideas, share experiences, identify practical solutions, and develop actionable recommendations that will advance transportation safety and strengthen multimodal connectivity across our nation. Before I conclude, let me commend Transport Day Media for sustaining this important annual lecture series and for providing a platform that promotes constructive engagement on issues of national importance. Thank you for your attention, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dr. Ikeja.with, Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy.
I want to say it's both an honor and a privilege to address this distinguished gathering on the theme Inter-modal Transportation Safety in Nigeria, Prospects, Challenges, and National Growth. Transportation remains the lifeblood of every economy. It facilitates trade, enhances mobility, connects production centers to markets, and serves as a catalyst for socio-economic development. In a country as vast and strategically positioned as Nigeria, the efficient integration of transport modes, is not merely desirable, it is imperative for sustainable national development. Nigeria has a very peculiar case. We want to imitate other climes, but sometimes we miss along the way. In the next 10 years, what is required for Nigeria to actually fully develop our intermodal transportation system is not less than estimatedly $70 trillion, and that is quite huge. Why? Because transport infrastructure is quite capital intensive. It's capital intensive in the sense that, just for example, to build a modern smart port today that can compete favorably with our counterparts in other countries, most especially that can at least handle a throughput of about 25 to 30,000 TEUs, we need not less than $20 billion from scratch to finish. How many of such kind of facility will you build across the nation? Just do the mathematics. That is just on ports alone. We are not talking about rail. We are not talking about roads, bridges, warehouses, and all the likes, airports. That is the reason why it looks as if we are a bit backward. Our total budget for infrastructure development is not usually more than 2 billion, both national and investor funds combined together annually. And it becomes very important that we talk about it. Now, why intermodal transport matters? It's simply because it is the system that coordinates the movement of both passenger and cargo across 2 or more modes: road, rail, inland waterways, maritime, and air. And when they are safely integrated, there is lower cost, lower congestion, and improved reliability. And then productivity is enhanced, and that brings about growth in the economy.
All right, we'll be going on a short break now, and after this break, I'll be taking you on the highlights of the moment where we have paper presentation, question and answer, and some other fun-watching moments of the event. Please stay with us.
What are you doing here? Come in for a ride. I changed jobs. I now work at Lagos State Drivers Institute, Lastri. Wow, that's interesting. You can go into the road. It's a one-way.
Does that matter?
Yes, see the road sign.
Is that important?
It is very important. Road signs, pavement markings, and traffic signal lights are provided to guide all road users and ensure their safety. Without them, there will be chaos leading to accidents and loss of lives on the road.
My guy, I know, but sometimes I feel like getting home on time.
That is why you must obey these signs and observe the right of way by yielding to vehicles that got to intersection before you, or to traffic on your left. Also, you must not stop on yellow box.
Welcome back. We are so glad you are still hanging around Lagos Transportation Agenda. And at the highlight of the event, like I told you, the Dean of School of Transport and Logistics, Lagos State University, in person of Professor Ikeja.with gave his presentation, as well as lectures from the President and Chairman of Council of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, in person of Dr. Oboye Oyeyemi. Not forgetting the chairman of the occasion, represented by Mr. Mark Obuchi. Who am I talking about? Honorable Dr. Shegun Musa. All these were events that took place, and thereafter there are questions and answers. So all these are the events that took place at the event. Let's enjoy them.
You know, we teachers, we always like to impart knowledge, right? And over the years, we have seen the use of multimodal and intermodal interchangeably. And I don't know how many of you know that it's not totally correct to do that. And there is a major difference between intermodal transport and multimodal transport. And if you permit me, the only major difference, because the two involves the use of more than 2 modes of transportation. But the major difference is in the contract. So in intermodal transportation, you can use multiple transport modes, but you have multiple contracts. For each transport mode, there is a different contract. And that shipper will take care of that transport mode. But in the multimodal transportation, it is just one contract. No matter how many modes of transportation that you're using, it's just one contract. For instance, if you want to move cargo, say from a mine in Kogi to a buyer overseas, whether you're using a truck, whether you're using the rail or the sea, the logistics company that is taking care of that movement uses only one contract. But if it is intermodal, if you're moving by truck, you will settle the truck mode. If you're using sea, you will settle, so you have multiple documentations. Please, I hope that is clear for this audience. When we discuss free transport in Nigeria, our conversations often revolve around the ports, roads, railways, and infrastructure. However, infrastructure alone does not guarantee efficiency or safety. Let me repeat. Infrastructure alone does not guarantee efficiency or safety. The real determinant of a successful freight system is governance. Dr. Igwe had mentioned of a little bit about the fragmentations that we have. We'll still look at it because that is what is our core challenge. Today, my arguments will be around the need for Nigeria to move beyond managing individual transport modes towards governing entire freight corridors as integrated systems. Safety should not begin at the port gate and end at the highway checkpoint. It must be done what? Embedded throughout the journey from the port to the hinterland. So this is an integrated data architecture for national freight safety governance. You can see all that is involved in it. It's like an ERP. So many of you know ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, right? So it's also in the same level that you have the port community systems of the port, where you have all stakeholders on the same database, so that whatever it is that is happening in one area, another institution is also looking at it. Like the ERP, the finance manager cannot, deny the warehouse manager that says, oh, it is time for inventory, we need to pay for systems. It is clear, it is real time. Everybody is saying it. So this is the kind of data architecture that we need to have.
In fairness to this government, they tried when it comes to transportation, because not everything is bad. A lot has been done, but the public is not aware, and the government is trying. No government can have perfection when it comes to this, but it must continue. Governance is continuing. That's why they call it nation building. Do your best and go. Not the same will come. But the major problem in Nigeria, which I always discuss, when you see me and how we can be together for quality living, is the failure of continuity in governance. All what Mr. Igwe said is correct, but there's not sustainability. When this government leaves, another one will come and chart a new way completely, abandoning the good works being done by the predecessor. That is the fundamental problem we have in Nigeria today. Why are developed nations growing? Because there's continuity in policies irrespective of the party that are taking over. Until Nigeria, another party takes over tomorrow, discards the previous policies and programs and start afresh. That's why we're not growing. Now, Lagos State is a big case study, not because Lagos is Lagos, but the position of Lagos made it to be a reference. Lagos' economy is growing because the leadership in Lagos are making it to grow. Lagos accounts for 40% of vehicular density in Nigeria and 33% of the drivers. And Lagos has implemented, towards a certain level, multi-modal transportation system. Like Professor said, and Igwe, you can connect by road to you can fly down from airport by road to the jetty. That is multimodal. From one transportation mode here, road, inland. Other states, we are carrying out, CILT is carrying out this study, President, of which is on my own, to see how many states, most states are just intermodal. Then how many states are out of intermodal system? If you look at all the states along the coastal line, how many of them are utilizing all these things? Only Lagos, you can really point out. And this is where the problem lies on our governance. That's what our said, that's what Igwe said, that's what Prof said. So but there must be a way out of this problem. There must really be a way out in respect of this. Other states should emulate what Lagos is doing. I'm not from Lagos, I'm from Kwara. Kwara. So, but other states should emulate what Lagos has done and still do. Lagos is growing. Lagos is growing. The red line, the blue line as east transportation. The BRT as east transportation. If other states can emulate what Lagos is doing, then we can talk about renewable, greater Nigeria. But we are those of us here today are the ones to make it work. When you have stringent penalties, in developed countries they catch you on DUI, driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol, they will suspend your license. But here, the penalty point system is no license. Yeah. Once your license is suspended, your insurance goes up. Because there's no place to hide. Once you are arrested, the database, insurance people will check the database before they renew your insurance. Once you have been arrested and you pay fines, your premium will go up. That's how everybody behaves. Why is it that when we get abroad, we are holier than Pope? We all stand, but here, the humanism has killed us. You travel with all the governors, some of us will queue in front of the immigration officer. They will not be smiling at him so that they don't turn them down. But after, they will roll, carry their boxes, all of us are equal. We all move together. But in Nigeria here, and before the aircraft touch the red carpet is there, we need to put aside all this humanity and let us be ready to grow this country the way it's supposed to be grown.
Esteemed government officials, captains of industry, transport modal leaders, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to chair this pivotal event focused on the crucial theme, multimodal transportation safety in Nigeria, prospects, challenges, and contribution to national growth pursuant to the renewed hope agenda. Distinguished guests, the numbers do not flatter us. Nigeria loses 3.2 trillion annually to transport gaps and inefficiencies. That is not a budget line. That is hospitals unbuilt, jobs uncreated, and lives lost on unsafe corridors. Yet this lecture comes at a decisive moment. The renewed hope agenda has put infrastructure and economic security at the center of governance. The question before us is simple. Will multimodal safety be the catalyst for national growth or remain the leak in our prosperity pipeline? Our challenge is fragmentation, not absence of solutions. Experts agree Nigeria's transport system requires urgent, predictive, integrated solutions. But today, road, rail, inland waterways, and aviation still operate as silos. Road crashes account for
Okay, where we have the wrap up of today's episode, and I want to believe you'll be able to enjoy yourself and learn one or two things from today's show. Here is your favorite show, Lagos Transportation Agenda, and my name is Emmanuel Arosiola. Don't forget to tune in next week, same time, same station. Till then, stay safe and stay blessed. Bye.